Welcome to Jason's Sports Show. It's almost 1. Broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. I'm going to talk to you guys about stuff that matters to me today. And, well, the 4 major sports, or major leagues that matter the most. Well, I'll also talk about another one that some people might not care about. First off, let's talk about college football, since that happened last Saturday. You would think Oregon would have been able to beat Stanford. The high-flying Ducks coming in with their loaded-off offense with Chip Kelly at the helm. Just destruction, right? Well, not so much. Stanford said to themselves, well, we know we're better than you. We can beat you, but we'll wait till the fourth quarter to score a touchdown to ruin your life. Stanford bums out the Ducks. The Ducks didn't have the determination to try to really get into that Stanford defense and really try to fool them and try to get them down early. But what they were able to do is hold a 14-7 lead after the third quarter, which that's not bad. It's not bad, but I mean, you obviously don't want to do that. I mean, they gave up a 7. They obviously don't want to give up a touchdown late, especially with 1:35 in the game. 10-yard pass from the 10-yard pass to tie the game. Then in overtime, field goal, game over. It was in Eugene, Autzen Stadium, Eugene, Oregon. The place where some say is one of the loudest, if not the loudest, college football stadium in the entire USA. And you can't really blame them. Stanford is a good team. Stanford is ranked 13th in the nation. They paid their dues. Who they've lost to? They've lost a lot. They've lost to Washington and Notre Dame. Washington may be unranked, but they're the best team in Washington, standing at 7-4. Besides Washington State, who it's not really great. We're talking Pac-12. If we're still talking Pac-12, might as well talk about UCLA and USC. Pasadena, California. Saturday, November 17th. It was a rainy day in California. I remember I was going to the Lincoln Museum. Oh, not the Lincoln Museum, the Reagan Museum with my girlfriend. I remember where I was. I wanted to see that game. Someone offered me tickets. I had to refuse. Go to the Reagan Museum. And bless. Why go? Isn't it crazy? I'll go next year. That's what I'll do. Go to the Coliseum game. But UCLA made a statement on Saturday. They made a statement saying, we won't be pushed around. We're not the little brother in LA anymore in terms of football. Basketball, they dominate USC. UCLA ranks 20th in the nation in points for, and with points against, they rank 50th in the nation, which is not bad. How good is UCLA? 15th in the nation, 17th in the nation? Good enough. Is there anybody on this? I don't think there's anyone over. I think they're perfect right now. There are 14 teams that could beat UCLA, and there's hundreds of teams who UCLA could beat. That's what I think. That's exactly what I think. USC's been knocked out. They're gone. They're done. Good night. Sleep tight. You're gone. USC, failure season. Failure. I would not be surprised if a lot of people got fired. Well, I mean, Matt Barkley is playing with a team that can maybe salvage a bowl game. UCLA has had the better season. UCLA beat Rice 49-24. They said, okay, of course they're gonna win. First game of the season against Nebraska, huge victory. I went to the game after that against Houston, huge victory. Pretty good game. The defense for UCLA was really good. Houston was already starting out pretty bad, and I had read an article about the UCLA Houston game. When you look where Houston is now, and well, that's a good question. Where is Houston now? Houston, 4-7. They were the pickup. They were, well, if you have any Houston University of Houston fans, they lost 3. They won the next 3. Then they lost to SMU. Then they won against UTEP, which Chris Sylvester's favorite team is. If you should listen to his show, he's on the station too. Then they proceeded to lose their last 3 games, and they play at home to finish their season against Tuluna. UTEP football, horrible story. They just keep on playing team after team that dominates them. Okay, I'm not gonna go into this too much. They lost to 2 respectable teams, Oklahoma and Ole Miss. Then they lost to Wisconsin. Then they played an East Carolina team who I don't even think is that good this year. But they've had a few opponents that have allowed them to get to the point where they are now. They didn't even beat Navy. So, yeah, UTEP, what are you doing? Then they lost to SMU. Did not know SMU still had a legit program. They don't. They're 5-6. Then there's Tulsa losing to them. Now they're at the point where they can maybe salvage the season. Not gonna talk about that though. More about Houston. I'm straying away from the topics. UCLA football. So who finished up? Well, UCLA already clinched their spot in the championship game against whoever that may be. The championship game has been clinched for UCLA. It's gonna be a battle, a conference play. If Oregon wins and Stanford wins, then we might have a matchup going on. But if Stanford loses, Oregon wins, we're gonna probably see a matchup like last year, UCLA versus Oregon. UCLA wins, Oregon loses, it's UCLA and Stanford all over again because UCLA and Stanford are playing this weekend. Let's talk about a team that real quickly. Just talk about a team that has not had much success. Colorado. Oh, Colorado, what have you done with yourself? Their only win was in week 4 against Washington State, who also pretty bad team, 2-9. Now they play Utah. Oh no. Oh gosh. Give them the benefit of the doubt. They've had to play 4, or no, like more like 5 ranked teams. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Give it to them because it's not fair for them. Give them the benefit of the doubt. They're trying. They are. So, I mean, but to be able to compete in the Pac-12, you need to be able to do a lot. And when was the last time they had a successful year? When was the last time they picked up more than 5 wins? Colorado may not be known for their great team play, but I mean, I can see people liking their college. I'm actually looking through the schedule, trying to find them. Last time they had a bowl game was 2007. They played the Petro Sun Independence Bowl in Louisiana. They played Alabama in that bowl, lost 30-24. They made that bowl with a 6-6 record. The teams they beat were pretty impressive, actually. They beat Oklahoma, they beat Baylor, they beat Texas Tech, they beat Nebraska, and they beat Colorado State. Of course, you have to beat them, rivals. But that might even be impressive now. But probably a few years ago, those teams were national contenders, and they didn't matter. So, moving on. Utah, it's a pretty sad team, but we're not going to get into that. Time to talk more about other teams. Enough about UCLA, enough about Oregon. How about Kansas State falling to Baylor in a blowout win, which was pretty surprising, considering that Kansas State was supposed to be the savior. They were supposed to be the team from Kansas that makes the national championship game and wins. What happens instead? They lose their footing after the first quarter and never really recovered from there. I mean, they tied the game with 9 minutes to go, and then they ended the first quarter 14-7. And second quarter was not very nice to them either. The second quarter didn't even come until the 6th minute when Terrence Williams received the 22-yard pass from Nick Florence, and after a few scores, it was 28-7. But wait, they're not done yet. Kansas State says, "Oh, we're not gonna die yet," and gets back on the board, gets a touchdown and a field goal. It's 28-17. Now, this is where it gets kind of depressing. Baylor runs the ball, gets another touchdown, 35-17. Then Colin Klein, he says, "Oh, we're not giving up yet. You can't beat a team down like this." They get a touchdown, 35-24. Then, what Baylor decided to do, which just kind of makes me sad to even see this happen to a team, because you never want to see a team get demolished. They work every day. They work their butts off to be able to play. But man, that last 7 minutes of the third quarter, oh, it's ugly. Field goal after a 50-yard field goal. Gasco Martin gets his second touchdown of the day on a 15-yard run, and another running touchdown, 52-24. No scoring in the fourth quarter. They probably was just like running the ball. I don't know what's going on there, but Gasco Martin actually had 3 touchdowns. My bad, my mistake. But K-State proving to everyone that it's usually anybody's game. Baylor, I'm sorry. Oh well. Baylor plays hard. They play good football. So, who moves up to number 1? A lot of people ask. A lot of people say it should be maybe Alabama. People say Alabama. You know, they're still a team who hasn't lost